man risks his job by writing a bold proposal to his company because he no longer wants to earn money at the cost of his conscience. The next day, he regrets it, knowing it has pushed his bosses to their limit, but it is too late to take back. He braces himself and walks into the office, only to be met with thunderous applause from coworkers who say he wrote what every salaried employee thinks, but never dares to say. However, the tall tree catches the wind. He is soon brutally fired, his long-nurtured clients quietly poached by the firm, and he is told to pack up and leave immediately. Trying to hide his humiliation, Jerry pretends to stay calm, carrying a small fish tank as he exits, still dreaming of starting his own agency and taking loyal staff with him. But when he invites everyone to join, fear of risk keeps them silent, including the assistant he personally trained, who prefers to stay for a promotion. Just as he is about to walk out alone, a woman suddenly stands up and decides to follow him, shocking the whole office. This man is Jerry Maguire, once a star sports agent managing more than 70 elite athletes, handsome, rich, and brilliant, his company's golden boy. Over time, though, he sees how the industry has become obsessed with profit and excess. Players' character has declined, and his company pushes injured athletes back onto the field just to keep the money flowing. Even after one player is hospitalized for a fourth serious injury, the firm encourages him to continue, while the athlete's son looks to Jerry, begging him to protect his father. The boy's plea sends Jerry into deep reflection. Has he lost his way by chasing profit and forgotten his original values? Driven by this crisis, he writes a manifesto urging the company to take fewer clients and care more about their lives, only to be fired for it. On this all-or-nothing path, Dorothy is the one person willing to stand beside him. Her sister objects strongly, because Dorothy is a single mother whose child's expenses depend entirely on her salary, and now she is following a man with an uncertain future. Dorothy understands the risk, but still chooses to trust Jerry, seeing not only his ability, but also the passion and sincerity in his heart. Jerry does not initially disappoint her. To save his last chance, he travels far to meet star player Cush and his family, no longer shielded by a powerful firm and much less confident than before. To his relief, Cush's father verbally agrees to keep Jerry as agent if he came personally, which reignites Jerry's will to fight. Eager, he rushes back with a written contract, only to discover the old company has already beaten him there. The generous verbal promise collapses under a higher bid from SMI, and the family turns their backs on him without hesitation. Jerry suddenly understands that in this business, loyalty and trust mean nothing against money. Worse, he discovers his own girlfriend, Avery, is behind the betrayal. When he confronts her, she angrily rejects him, blames him for failing, and even hits him, saying she won't be dragged down with him. Hit from both career and love, Jerry's world falls apart. Once a shining figure, he now feels like a stray dog, unable to stand the feeling of being rejected by everyone or facing the night alone. In a final effort to stay grounded, he calls Dorothy and pours out everything. Ignoring her sister's warnings, Dorothy invites him home. When Jerry removes his sunglasses, she sees the ugly cut near his eye from Avery's blow and gently sits him down, going to fetch medicine. Her young son, Ray, peeks out curiously and, though it's their first meeting, bonds with Jerry instantly. After Ray darts back to bed, Dorothy explains why she quit. She has long admired Jerry, not just for his looks, but for his dedication and kindness. Caught off guard by her quiet confession and warmth, Jerry gets swept up in a charged, tender moment until the honk of a taxi snaps him back. Dorothy has already called a cab to take him home. Even though the moment passes quickly, her understanding and support erase much of his earlier despair. As he leaves, Jerry promises that he will find their own client and do everything possible to take that player to the top. Soon after, third-tier veteran receiver Rod Tidwell seeks Jerry out. With only a few years left before retirement and a clear goal, he wants Jerry to help him finally make real money. Rod is a little-known receiver desperate to shine in front of cameras and fans. Jerry sees his hunger and uses his industry connections to push Rod into bigger events, personally introducing him to organizers. Under Jerry's promotion, Rod slowly regains confidence and finally secures a playing opportunity. But Rod is too eager to prove himself, and the team owner openly mocks him as short, arrogant, and hard to manage, making Jerry's situation even tougher. Jerry knows if Rod won't adjust his attitude, even getting a contract will be hard. Rod keeps complaining that less talented players are paid more, while Jerry urges him to drop the whining so he can actually earn a deal. Rod calls that sucking up, and his stubborn pride drives Jerry crazy, because when ego clashes with survival, insisting on your own way can destroy everything. Seeing Jerry close to breaking, Rod suddenly becomes serious and promises to train hard. 2 days later, Dorothy receives a signed contract for Rod, but when she hands it to Jerry, she looks away. Since their ambiguous night together, they've both kept their distance, putting work first. Dorothy also reveals a new problem. They're in financial trouble. She invested in real estate and lost money, and now urgently needs Jerry to come up with a plan. That evening, Jerry visits Dorothy's house. Ray runs to him with such joy that even the longtime babysitter is shocked. Never felt that kind of affection from the boy. Jerry arrives like a father returning home, bringing a carefully chosen gift for Ray. Even Laurel, always suspicious of him, softens at the sight. Dorothy realizes she never imagined a man would bring this kind of warmth into her and her son's life, or that Ray, who has lacked a father's love, would reach out to Jerry for a hug before they leave. Watching Ray cling to Jerry, Dorothy sees that she was wrong to think she could fill every gap alone. Material comfort can't fix the emotional emptiness in a child's heart. In that moment, she decides to try to give Ray a complete home. Jerry feels it too. Every time he sees Dorothy and Ray, a deep, natural attachment rises in him that he never had with his fiancée. An ease, anticipation, and satisfaction just from being around them. That night he doesn't go home. Instead, he stays and spends a wonderful night with Dorothy. Laurel worries her sister will get hurt, since Jerry's engagement only just ended, but Jerry now understands how important he is to Dorothy. This isn't impulsive for her. She's admired him for years, quietly watching his work and character, only stepping into his life when his career collapsed. In response, Jerry has tried to match her faith with real effort, both in his job and in their growing relationship. Still, Rod's contract remains a major headache. Negotiations stall again and again, and the best offer is only $1.7 million over 3 years. Rod's wife explodes, questioning Jerry's competence and saying other agents are already contacting. When she demands to know how Jerry plans to fix things, Dorothy jumps in to defend him. She points out that in a greedy world, Jerry is the rare agent who doesn't think only about money. He's effectively bankrupt, yet still fighting for Rod for free. Her words hit Rod's conscience. Though he complains about injustice, he's loyal and sentimental at heart. He promises Jerry that from now on he'll put all his energy into training and proving his worth. As Jerry works to create chances for Rod, they become genuine friends. When a commercial director yells at Rod, Jerry sacrifices the fee to protect his pride. When Jerry confides his uncertainty about Dorothy, Rod gives blunt but sincere advice. Single mothers are sacred. Dorothy clearly loves him, and if he doesn't feel the same, he must be honest. To relieve Jerry's financial strain, Dorothy decides to move to San Diego for a stable job. During their farewell, Jerry once again speaks to Ray with a gentle, fatherly tone, saying goodbye as if to his own son. Trying to stay casual with Dorothy, he still can't let her leave so easily. Just as she's about to get into the car, he calls her back and proposes. Dorothy is stunned. Even though Jerry is nearly broke, she values his character far more than money, and the powerful, unspoken father-son bond between Jerry and Ray matters to her most of all. Jerry and Dorothy get married in a flash ceremony, exchanging vows with family and friends. But that same night, as they watch the wedding video, Dorothy notices Jerry's stiff, forced smile and realizes he hasn't truly accepted the marriage. Rod, more experienced in life, also senses trouble ahead and worries about them. In the following days, he suffers repeated hard hits on the field, yet still keeps urging Jerry after each game to go home and spend real time with Dorothy, because for Rod, family always comes first. Jerry, however, stays work-focused, believing phone calls are enough, forgetting that marriage is not a transaction and can't survive in emotional ambiguity. Dorothy slowly understands that what she truly wants is to feel loved and held in the present, not just promised a future. One night, She tries talking to Jerry about Rod and his wife, but finds his mind still locked on career and what's next. She wonders if she's selfish, feeling unworthy of him and suspecting that if she hadn't confessed first, Jerry might never have proposed, except out of responsibility. She wants to give him her best, but he only wants to preserve the status quo. After they are honest with each other, Dorothy bravely suggests a separation so both can think about whether this marriage should continue. She doesn't want a lifetime of formal, hollow coexistence. Although she loves him deeply, she believes true love is not a cage, not possession or bondage. Jerry is left confused, unable to separate work from marriage or love from duty, and realizes he needs time to understand his real feelings. He throws himself into football, focusing on a crucial game that will decide which team advances toward the Super Bowl. Rod's team carries huge pressure after a 20-year finals drought. Rod plays brilliantly but becomes the primary target. Every catch brings brutal tackles. In the final minute, with the team trailing due to repeated mistakes, Rod raises his fists and fires up his teammates, knowing this is their last chance. The ball is launched. He leaps between two defenders, snatches it, and lands perfectly for the winning score. The stadium explodes in cheers. Rod is finally a true hero. Then his wife, watching on TV, notices he's not moving. Rod lies motionless on the turf, apparently knocked out by a severe head blow. Jerry rushes onto the field as Rod's family watches in terror and prays for a miracle. The tension peaks as a jarring commercial suddenly interrupts the broadcast. Jerry quickly calls Rod's wife, assuring her top doctors are treating him and keeping the line open with real-time updates. In the stadium, every eye is on Rod, the undersized player who shocked everyone. When he slowly sits up, the crowd erupts again. The once overlooked receiver has finally shone at his brightest. After the game, as Rod leaves the locker room, a wave of reporters and cameras engulfs him, his long-dreamed-of spotlight at last. Yet the person he searches for isn't the media, but Jerry, the agent who promised to help him make the money. Their brief eye contact and shared smile say everything neither needs to put into words. An unspoken understanding passes between Rod and Jerry as they lock eyes in the tunnel, no words needed. Watching Rod's joy and hearing him share everything with his anxious wife on the phone, Jerry is suddenly moved to tears and realizes what truly matters: the people and relationships that quietly took root in his life while he was busy chasing profit. He rushes home to Dorothy, but when she sees him, she instinctively steps back, until Jerry, eyes red, admits that the victory feels incomplete because he couldn't share it with her. He tells her he misses his wife, that she is the one who makes him whole. Dorothy, deeply moved, says he had her from the moment he walked in. This time she sees real determination and honesty in his eyes. Later, in a TV interview, Rod shares his backstory. His father left due to poverty, his mother raised 3 sons alone, and his older brother lost a leg in an accident. From then on, Rod played football not just for himself, but to give his family a better life. The host reveals a 4-year contract offer worth $11.2 million, and Rod breaks down, overwhelmed, that he has finally earned so much. Through tears, he thanks his family, teammates, and especially Jerry, the agent who helped him find the light when he was overlooked. Their journey mirrors how ordinary people in the workplace lift each other. One man, a fallen agent; the other, a little-known player. By supporting each other, help me achieve, and I'll stand by you at your lowest. They create a miracle. The story also lays bare the fragility of marriage. Jerry believed non-stop hard work would secure Dorothy's future, but forgot that what she needed was emotional presence. A hug when he came home late, a listening ear when she felt exhausted. Real love is not one-way sacrifice or duty, it needs balance. Like Rod, who finally understands that family comes before everything, Jerry learns that protecting love means finding a middle ground between ambition and genuine care for the person waiting at home.